Brad Nessler with a new partner. Jimmy Dykes sat in that seat for 10 years. He got so tired of me, he decided to return to coaching was his best move. So enter Sean Farnham, my new partner. Welcome to Tuesday, Sean. And you've been all over the basketball map this year. I haven't. I'm coming off the football path right now. Other than Kentucky being #1 and undefeated, what do we need to know about the SEC?
Well, the depth of the conference is much improved from where it was a season ago. And while Florida has struggled a little bit, teams like South Carolina, Alabama, Arkansas, LSU, and Georgia have really elevated their play.
These two teams met twice last year. They split. Important game, even though it's only the first conference game of the season.
Important game, especially for Georgia. When you think about their upcoming schedule for the Georgia Bulldogs, they take 2 on the road after this contest. They go to LSU and then to Vanderbilt. 2 difficult road tests right away. Meanwhile, for Arkansas, it has been the road that has been an Achilles heel for Mike Anderson's team. They need to prove that they can win on the road in environments like this if they're going to challenge to be one of the top 3 teams in this conference.
All right, both these teams went to the NIT last year. They're hoping for much better this season. Let's check in with the third member of our team before we meet the starting lineups. Here's Shannon Spake. Shannon.
Well, Brad, here's a little football for you. To prepare for this game, Coach Mark Fox, he showed his team 4 clips from the Georgia football team. All 4 of the clips were turnovers, and all 4 of those turnovers resulted in points from the other team. His point was, we cannot turn the ball over tonight and hurt ourselves, especially against a team like Arkansas that's so, quote, unorthodox and physical. And Arkansas has a little bit of the revenge factor coming into this game. Last year when they played here, it was an overtime loss. They were out-rebounded by 22. Moses Kingsley said this week, last year we gave them a gift, well, we're going to take it back.
Let's see if they do. And let's meet the starting lineups for Mike Anderson and the Razorbacks of Arkansas. 3-guard backcourt, Kai Madden, Jabril Durham, Michael Qualls. Up front, Moses Kingsley, who Shannon just talked about, and Bobby Portis, who's playing like a first-team all-conference performer. For Mark Fox and the Bulldogs on their home floor, Kenny Gaines, Jawan Parker, and Charles Mann in the backcourt. Nemi Jurisic and Marcus Thornton are up front. Our officials tonight, Michael Stevens, Brent Hampton, and Pat Adams. Super Tuesday. Got a good feel. Time to get hoops going for Sirius in the SEC. Here we go. Ball's down on the baseline. Works to the paint. Can't get it to go, and Jurisic will clear it off.
You mentioned rebounding a year ago was a huge differential in this game. 20 plus rebounds for Georgia in their home win against Arkansas. They've got to compete on the glass.
Kenny Gaines will take the outside jumper. And Michael Qualls the rebound. Durham the lob underneath. Tough catch. And then rejected by Thornton. And that one's slippery right now for Charles Mann. Comes free to Parker, and he buries a 3. That's only his 5th 3-pointer of the year, and he was shooting about 22%, so a nice start for Parker.
The last 3 games combined, only 4 points. So you get offense out of him. It's a very balanced approach from Georgia, but if you get some offense out of him, it's all gravy.
Hook shot won't go, and Thornton clears off the glass. A lot of experience for 4 of these Georgia players. They've been playing together a long time, and it shows right there. Nice feed by Mann to Jurisic.
Jurisic did a nice job sealing on the high side, creating that space, and then Mann with a beautiful touch pass over the top.
Nice job. Bobby Portis got his man in the air and then slams it home on the baseline.
You give a lane to Bobby Portis, and Bobby Portis can finish with the best of them. You leave your feet out on the perimeter. No help side defensive rotation on the last possession for Georgia, though. Nice job in transition attacking. When you get pressured like Arkansas pressures you, you want to apply the pressure back to them. And the best way to do that is to attack their press with poise. And that's what they did on that previous possession for the Bulldogs.
Georgia, for the most part, would like to slow it down. Obviously, Arkansas, one of the top scoring teams in the country. It's always been a Razorback trait, is they want to hurry up. Drive was a good one. The finish wasn't. They get it back and then throw it away. Georgia's first turnover. In the paint. Nice move. They cut it to 1.
You can see already how Arkansas wants to push and create quick entry pass into the block, utilize some of their size underneath.
I know Mark Fox told you today that's exactly what Georgia's defense doesn't want to allow. Thornton, wow. Quick move off the window. Qualls looking for a pick from Kingsley. Portis thought about a three. Nice job by Mann to cut off Madden. Good job defensively by Georgia to this point. Portis missed the jumper and gains up high for the rebound.
Well, Thornton learned from his mistake early on. Let him shoot that shot, contest it with a hand up, don't elevate up, and allow him to drive by for the dunk.
Mann goes against Qualls and draws a foul. Georgia set to go to the bench for the first time. J.J. Frazier coming off a career-high game in their win over Norfolk State the other day. He's a spark plug.
I love the energy he brings to the floor. I mean, he could be as quick as any guard in the SEC from end to end. When the ball hits his hands, he's looking to attack.
Georgia at the free throw line. Actually, the last couple of years under Mark Fox, it's always an adventure. They might go 8 out of 9 in the first half, and they might go 2 out of 10 in the second half.
Well, part of that has been the inconsistency of Mann, who gets to the free throw line so frequently, yet has not developed a consistent approach at the line. He draws fouls about as good as anybody in the country.
He does. He had 2 big free throws in the win over Kansas State at waning seconds, and he got the first 2 there, and he'll get a breather. And Frazier checks in for him. Portis, good move on the inside. Doesn't go, and Thornton just muscled the rebound. Thornton leading Georgia in both scoring and rebounding. 7 boards a game. He's had a couple of strong ones here in the opening 3.5 minutes.
A little off balance there. Almost traveled.
Frazier got it back to him. Outside jumper. That's not his strong suit necessarily. And he missed badly. Portis on the inside. According to the Georgia student body, he's going to be the bad guy tonight. Nice move. Switched hands, went baseline, and got it off the glass.
He might be a bad guy, but he's really good, and he's really talented. He has improved his game so much, and I think you saw a little bit there. His base and his ability to absorb contact is one of the areas he has improved the most.
This time last year, he was probably 6'10" and about 20 pounds lighter. He's an inch taller. He's got a lot more muscle. And there's Kenny Gaines knocking down a 3.
For the last 5 games, Kenny Gaines is 26% from beyond the arc. His consistency from the outside will be an added boost to the Georgia Bulldogs offensive approach.
Boy, and they let Portis have that shot, and he knocks it down from the baseline. So it's been pretty much Bobby Portis for Arkansas. Georgia's mixed it up pretty well with all of their starters in the scoreboard.
Great switch out that time by Bobby. That's the one thing, the versatility Arkansas has with the athleticism. They can switch every screen.
There's Frazier taking it in. Jurisic cleans up for him. Great start here in the first 5 minutes for Georgia. Hogs moving around the perimeter. Jumper is way off by Jabril Durham. Jurisic, nice spin move, drew the foul from Kingsley. Georgia off to a great start in the opening 5.5 minutes. Things are going right when Kenny Gaines is hitting from outside the arc. 14-8 Georgia.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by the Cree LED bulb, the biggest thing since the light bulb. And in part by Wendy's. proud sponsor of the 2015 John R. Wooden Men's Player of the Year Award.
Like a child, this Cree LED bulb could be in your house for decades. Unlike a child, it'll pay for itself and spend its life saving you money. And it will never pierce its tongue.
The Cree LED bulb.
If you don't think I've still got it when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Life Reimagined gives you tools and support to get the career you'll love. Find more real possibilities at aarp.org/possibilities.
The Volkswagen Golf was just named Motor Trend's 2015 Car of the Year. So was the 100% electric e-Golf and the 45 Highway MPG TDI Clean Diesel. And last but not least, the high-performance GTI. Looks like we're going to need a bigger podium. The Volkswagen Golf family, Motor Trend's 2015 Cars of the Year.
What if other chicken sandwiches could dream?
Asiago, over here, over here. Asiago, we love you. Asiago, stop. Asiago!
Dream on, little chicken, because there's only one Wendy's Asiago Ranch Chicken Club with rich Asiago, thick-cut bacon, and cool and creamy ranch. And now buy a Frosty key tag and get a Junior Frosty with every purchase.
Ohio State, Indiana at noon, then Louisville, North Carolina, Saturday on ESPN.
Georgia, 6-point lead early in the first half. Both of our coaches with microphones tonight. Here's Mark Fox, Wired.
Man, congrats on that new deal, brother. What's going on? Congrats on that new deal. Yeah. What's up, man? How are you? You gonna be mic'd up too? Yeah. And make sure I don't talk no crazy. Our students are great.
Students have packed the left end zone over there. Mark Fox is 6 years Georgia's head coach. And you might have heard him say congratulations on that new deal. There's the student body. Been talking with Mike Anderson announced today that Mike has signed a contract extension at Arkansas. So it's a good day so far.
And students filling it in.
Yeah.
It's free.
That's a good move, I think.
Just bring your student ID card and you get them free to a basketball game. That sounds pretty good to me.
Each going to the library. Nice up and under by Maton.
Especially day 2 of the spring semester.
Nobody has to study yet. I'm not taking away from the educational standpoint here. Studying's overrated, day 1. Walls on the drive. Gets up in the paint, drew a foul.
It's really the first time we've seen Arkansas be able to push in transition and in their secondary break get a little curl action going towards the basket. A lot of their action, defensive transition has been great so far for Georgia. They're getting back. They're forcing Arkansas to play at their tempo and their pace.
The foul was before the shot, so they'll take it out on the baseline. Nice move inside. Harris, his first basket.
And you got to make baskets to be able to set up your pressure. When you're struggling from the field, it allows Georgia to be comfortable. Now they got to deal with this pressure and see how they can attack it.
Did a good job that time and got it. Jurisic for an easy bucket. That'll make you think twice about the press if they could do that every time. Here's Qualls for 3. Jurisic with the rebound. And whistle on a foul. Going to be on Ja'Cory Williams.
Well, how do you beat a press? You attack a press. And as this ball gets thrown up in transition, watch the vision. The court vision is here. Why? Because there's a wide open lane right down the main street. And when you pass the ball and you cut and move with purpose, you use a shot fake and you're able to finish. Jurisic does a nice job getting an easy 2.
Yami's going to get a breather. He's had a great start. 6 points, a couple of big rebounds. Georgia maintaining their biggest lead of 8. 7 minutes into the game.
They fall back into 2-3 zone for Arkansas. Georgia not a great perimeter shooting team.
Especially from 3, but let's see how that one goes. Haynes hit his first one, but not that one. Matty Watkins in the lineup with the ball. Arkansas, as is the norm for Mike Anderson, play a lot of guys. Might see 11 tonight. Jumper kept alive by the Hogs. Baseline jumper won't go.
Well, defensively, though, you can see why Georgia has a top 15 field goal percentage defense in college basketball. They are there to contest on shots. They force you to take away option one, maybe sometimes even option two.
That ball loose right in front of us. Adams says still Georgia ball. Kenny Gaines got double teamed and got himself in some hot water there. So he'll bring it into man. And he draws a double team as well. Swarming Arkansas defense. Somebody's got to be open. There's two guys that were. And going to be a foul on Harris. As Marcus Thornton will be going to the free throw line when we come back. 11:53 remaining first half. Georgia maintains an 8-point lead.
Who is this guy? And why is he not sweating? He must be a secret agent.
New Axe Dry Spray. Goes on dry and keeps you dry with no visible residue. The first ever dry spray antiperspirant from Axe.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to finish this.
Taken 3. Rated PG-13. Special advanced screening Thursday. Everywhere Friday.
Your empire is how the world will remember you. It's where your dreams come to life. But you must not delay. Plan quickly, build quickly, or be destroyed quickly. Will you build an empire that lasts forever? Will you be my hero?
Game of War. Play for free now from the App Store.
These Ally Bank IRA CDs really do sound like a sure thing, but I'm a bit skeptical of sure things.
Why is that?
Look what Daddy's got.
Growth you can count on from the bank where no branches equals great rates.
At Chili's, fresh is now. Now with lighter options, like the new classic sirloin with grilled avocado. Chili's, fresh is happening now.
Brad Nessler and Sean Farnham back in Athens. 8-point lead for Georgia with 11:53 to go in the first half. What do you got on file tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, if we take a look at the Farnham file, it's time to update everybody on what you've missed so far as you've been watching college football. It's time for a little college hoop. And SEC, what do you need to know? Well, obviously, Kentucky, they have been absolutely dominant. One of the best defenses we've seen in college basketball in probably the last 20 years. Their non-conference RPI, it's up. A year ago, the SEC finished at 9. Now they're up to 3. South Carolina and Vandy. Vandy's team is young. They can shoot the ball. South Carolina, Frank Martin, they defend. And meanwhile, you look at what's coming in the future. Some outstanding recruits lined up already for next year. In fact, 4 out of the top 10, 6 out of the top 20 recruiting classes in the ESPN Top 100 recruits are coming to the SEC next year.
We're going to get better. Kentucky, we understand, at 13-0, number 1 in the country, up 23-17 right about now as Marcus Thornton goes to the free throw line. Not a great free throw shooter, about 59%. And this is the first one. Shannon?
Well, listening in on Mike Anderson's huddle just there, offensively, he really wants some more ball movement out of his guys. Defensively, he's looking for more spacing on the floor, and he wants them to be a little bit more defensively minded in that paint. So those are some of the highlights he touched on.
Well, I think one of the things that Coach Anderson was talking about and what Shannon just brought up was on defense, they're standing as the shot goes up. They're worried about trying to get out for offense instead of coming back and securing the basketball before they're able to run the floor.
Georgia stretches the lead to 9. Behind the back dribble and a tough shot inside. And it goes for Anton Beard.
I think if you're Coach Fox, you'll take even that possession. You're forcing Arkansas right now to really work. And as Coach Anderson was talking during that last time out about better movement without the ball. A lot of times the ball's getting stuck in one person's hands and it's going one-on-one versus sharing the ball and forcing the defense to react and move.
Georgia a bad shot, and then Gaines misses another three. So he hit his first one, and he's had a couple heat checks since, and he's missed the last two.
Well, Arkansas, the difference between being at home and being on the road, and the numbers speak for themselves. In particular, minus 15 points per game, and then the field goal percentage defense up 12% for the opponent on the road versus at home, and that comes when you're not able to dictate the tempo and the flow of the fastest 40, which they love to play, and is a staple of Coach Anderson's program.
I had that same problem a year ago, the last 2 years actually. Of course, it's tough for everybody on the road, but it's been dramatic for them. Harris, fadeaway jumper. I don't know if he called that one or not, but he'll take it.
Well, in fairness to Arkansas, too, one of those games was at Iowa State when Iowa State was coming off a loss, and they shot lights out. 64% shooting from the floor in that game. They could have drop-kicked the ball in the first half, and it was going in.
Approaching the midway point first half. Georgia's lead's been sliced down to 5, and there's a turnover. Now a hustle for the ball. Georgia wins that. Now they've got a number game. They're going to go to the free throw line.
What should have been a run out for Arkansas turns into an opportunity for Georgia. It was a great job defensively reacting by Beard to come from behind and steal the ball. But you got to have the poise and composure to know that people are going to be swarming you. He doesn't. Georgia gets the ball back, draws the foul, and gets the trip to the free throw line.
He compounds the problem by turning it over and then picking up the foul as well. That'll send Georgia to the free throw line. And Juwan Parker, who's one of the better free throw shooters on Georgia's team. In fact, he and J.J. Frazier are the best.
I'm really impressed with the focus of Coach Fox's team coming out here, understanding, as he said yesterday at practice, you only have one chance to be 1-0 in conference play. This is your chance tonight.
Last year, their non-conference results were not good. This year, they have been. Thus, their RPI much better than a year ago. As Juwan Parker got them both. He's got 5, and the lead's back to 7. Watkins on a runner. A shot. Andy Watkins. It's his first basket. And here comes the full court pressure again. Parker picked up his dribble, and he's got some issues, but got it to Frazier. Frazier's got the green light if he gets an opening, but at 5'9", 5'10", the openings aren't always there. There's a two-pointer, Juwan Parker, so he's got the last 4 points. And a blocking foul on the Dogs. And that will be on Parker. Be his second.
Great ball movement at the offensive end of the floor for Georgia. Screen, ball reversal, kick to the open shooter in the corner of the defense, standing a little flat-footed. And at the opposite end of the floor, you look to aggressively attack the rim, and a good call.
Parker got his hip out there, and he's going to sit down with 2 fouls. 7 points, including the last 4 for the Dogs. Straight up with the inbounds pass and straight down by Ja'Cory Williams.
That's beautiful execution on out of bounds underneath. I think if you get 8 points in those kind of situations, you give yourself an opportunity to win a basketball game. Those special situations, how do you perform? How do you execute?
Georgia with a different look out there. Cameron Forte and Gino and Frazier, Jurisic and Kenny Gaines. That's a 5 on the floor. 13 on the shot clock, and an offensive foul on Gaines. So he's missed his last 2 threes, and now an offensive foul. And Mark Fox not too happy about his junior out of Atlanta.
He has had a little bit of a slower start than people expected this season. Battled mono, missed some time at practice, then came back, hurt his shoulder against Colorado's left shoulder, missed about 10 practices. So there's been some inconsistency of him being on the practice floor, and I think it's showing up out on the court.
Quick 3 won't go for Athlon Bell. And now Frazier again speeds it up the court, and they're going to call the foul, I think, on the way before he took the shot. The shot went in. Well, ESPN Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy coming up this week. Ohio State and Indiana at noon. Then 5th-ranked Louisville travels to number 18 North Carolina at 2 Saturday on ESPN. Home court of college hoops. 2 good ones for you coming up this weekend. And a 3-pointer by Kenny Paulino.
Now his minutes have started to increase over the last 3 games because of the consistency and effort that he brings to the floor.
Talk about a nice time for your first 3 of the year to go in. The runner off the mark. Kept alive, though, and now foul underneath. Look out. And both players go down hard. Gino defensively. And Watkins underneath, who was trying to get the shot away.
Well, Gino's a smart man. He knows how to impress us. His favorite non-basketball athlete, Tim Tebow, he works for us. His favorite show, Sports Center, and we like that show. And the only website he's booked on his internet, well, it's ESPN.com. So he knows how to make us feel welcomed when we show up. As you mentioned, a welcome sight to see him knock down his first 3-quarter of the season.
So Harris goes to the free throw line. Gino sits after a hard foul and a 3-pointer that you just saw. That's going to be out of bounds. Beg your pardon. Watkins the inbound. Qualls around a screen. Not a good pass. Georgia with the steal, and Frazier got it to go.
The little tiny things that he does. Yes, he's quick, but he did a little hesitation. He slowed down and forced the defense. They reacted to him, and then he throttled it and dropped the hammer one more time to get to the rim and get the angle.
Hook shot will go for Harris. And he's got 6. And again, every time they hit a shot, backcourt pressure, but it hasn't bothered Georgia at all. Thornton lost that one up over the shot clock.
Well, it's Arkansas that likes to get out in transition and create off of turnovers, but the Georgia Bulldogs, well, J.J. Frazier, he plays the passing lane, a little hesitation, and the finish. The Bulldogs looking good.
Introducing the Pub Guide from Applebee's. Your bar and grill favorites made a little better for you. You get your favorite steak, and you get it with whole grains. You get delicious cedar grilled chicken, and you get it with quinoa. You get a low bill, and you get it with a big smile on your face. The Pub Diet starts at $9.99, only at Applebee's.
In Alaska, your biggest competition isn't other athletes. It's Alaska.
I can't make it! Hurry up! Oh my God.
I am here to win.
Ultimate Survival Alaska. New episodes Sundays at 9 on the National Geographic Channel.
The General scores again and again with super low monthly payments for car insurance. Just go to thegeneral.com on your tablet, computer, or smartphone, or call us for a fast free quote. Affordable car insurance with low payments, great discounts, and a choice of payment due date. Find out how low your monthly payment can be. Get a free anonymous online quote now. For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Jim and Jenny were shopping for razors. Jim bought a big brand razor and immediately felt the burn in his wallet. Jenny picked a low-cost razor and got nicks, cuts, and razor burn. 800razors.com stops the burn. We sell American-made razors that compare to the big brands for about half the price. Our razors are so good that 9 out of 10 of our customers say our shave is as good or better than the shave they get now. We don't know about the other guy. Now, you can live burn-free. Go to 800razors.com.
I'm Van Burke in our college basketball studios, updating you what's happening in the SEC network. Kentucky, #1, facing Ole Miss. As you'll see, Trey Lyles setting up Andrew Harrison. Kentucky by 1. Back to Brad Nessler, UCLA legend Sean Farnham.
Now here it's Georgia with an 8-point lead. Kentucky, they're #1 in basically everything. But tonight we understand Ole Miss is shooting 56% right now. But other than that,
Those numbers are incredible.
Well, I will tell you that I've seen Kentucky a couple times in person. I enjoy going to their practices as much as I enjoy watching them out on the court because they are so long. They are so strong in protecting the rim. They do such a great job defensively. They're going to be tough to score against all season long. But Ole Miss is one of those teams that offensively has been streaky this season. Yeah. And so shooting 56%. Jarvis Summers is a player that came into the year projected to be an all-conference player and has underachieved as far as his shooting percentages go so far this year. They need to get him going.
And Truck tells me he's got 5 points so far in the first half. And there's a walk. There's been a lot of turnovers. That's the third suffered by Arkansas.
And Bobby Portis only played the first 6 minutes of the game, and he just checked back in.
And he had basically 6 of the first 8 points, and he's back in there finally.
A lot of time on the bench, and I think more of that has to do with the fact that he has 0 rebounds and wasn't getting the job done at the defensive end of the floor.
And maybe taking some outside shots, even though one of them went in that were ill-advised, according to his coach, probably. Georgia try to pack it in, and they throw it away. Madden working against Frazier. That's a mismatch height-wise, big time. And he's going to try to take advantage of it. Portis clears the glass, falls for 3. Got it.
Well, you dribble the ball down the floor, you make 0 passes, get a shot up. You're lucky to get the offensive rebound and then make a good pass for only the 3rd assist of the night for Arkansas, who's one of the best, is the best assist passing team in all of college basketball, at averaging over 19 a game.
Yeah, that's amazing that they've gotten this far. They're not on that 19.2 pace for sure. Jurisic had a good start to the game and up and under. Nice move. He's got 8 points.
And his balance and his poise of catching the ball on the block, identifying where the defense was, and then creating an angle to score.
He's one of those guys, if you'd watched him 2 years ago, you'd say he's never going to start a game. And now he's really one of their mainstays. And he can shoot from the outside, too, if given the opportunity. Whoops. JJ got a little bit ahead of himself. And now he's wide open. The 3. Got it!
He pulled a little Steph Curry. A little Steph Curry action from last night against Russell Westbrook. The only problem was with J.J. Frazier. He broke his own ankles, but got it back and knocked down the 3.
Georgia matches their biggest lead by 10.
Have you ever thought about trying eHarmony? Then we've got something exciting just for you. Our free communication weekend and extended days for New Year's. We're giving away unprecedented access, including sending messages to matches who interest you. Kick off the new year right and really experience eHarmony for free. It's the first step in finding that perfect person for you. Connect for free during this special kickoff.
Bulldogs up by 10, and look at J.J. Frazier. Oh, Bobby Portis fell, so did Frazier. Little deflection. Bodies hit the floor. 3s raining from the outside. J.J. Frazier is a change of pace guard. He's a spark plug, as we've talked about. And boy, I've been so impressed with what he brings to the table. And he offers something that nobody else on this Georgia team can. And that's what makes him unique.
Portis just inside the 3-point line. Showing his range. He's got 8.
We'll quiet down everybody a little bit. This building got going. The student section is great. Everybody's kind of filing in. They were fired up for Super Tuesday. Big Monday last night was outstanding. A lot of close games, actually. Well, one close game. The second one
wasn't so close.
The second one really wasn't that close.
That was a shocker, actually. Jurisic thought about a long 3. Instead, drives in, leaves it for his teammate Thornton, who hammers it home. Jurisic doing a little bit of everything right now. Here's Qualls, 3, baseline. Thornton tips it to Frazier, and Frazier's got a man in front, didn't see Jurisic. Gains a step back, outside jumper, and he knocked it down. Right now, everybody at Stegman's Coliseum is saying, who are these guys? Kai Madden tries to quiet him. Georgia will get the rebound with a 13-point lead.
I'm just feeling the confidence right now out of this Georgia Bulldogs team. and a smart decision that time to pull it back out and establish your offense. You've got control of this game.
Jurisic way outside.
Well, that wasn't smart.
No. That's the only thing he's done wrong so far. Georgia on a 10-2 run here. Portis back in against Thornton. Muscle against muscle. He has to give it up. He'll take it outside instead. Over Thornton, and that's the second time he's drained one from the same spot. Double figures in the scoring column for Bobby Portis.
And it's really been Bobby Portis, and he's so good offensively, and he's such on balance. His skill set will translate over well to the next level.
We said he's up to about 242 pounds, doesn't get pushed around anymore. Even though majority of his points actually have probably come from the outside tonight so far. Baseline jumper, no good. Qualls way up by himself to get the rebound. Portis is going to try another one, and got another one. It's 3.
He has such a smooth release on his shot. His ability to stretch you out and also take you underneath and attack the rim. He's got the full complement at the offensive end of the floor.
Actually, percentage-wise, he's their best three-point shooter. That's only his 9th one of the year, but he's got 13 points, and he's almost single-handedly keeping Arkansas in this game right now. And Frazier's got to call a timeout. Double team by Durham and Qualls. .237 remaining in the half. The Dogs have led by as many as 13.
Well, Bobby Portis has been on the highlighted end of the offense, and now he's on the highlights of defense. As Thornton goes up over the top of him, electrifying the crowd, and then the 12-gauge version for the Georgia Bulldogs from the outside. You had a little 12-gauge action down in the Sugar Bowl, and then Portis on the opposite end of the floor, knocking down the 3.
Portis has hit the last 7 points for Arkansas. And there's his numbers. The rest of the team has 8 field goals. He's got 6, including that 3-pointer. Let's check in with Shannon.
Well, Sean, you mentioned how Georgia was not bothered by the pressure that Arkansas was showing them. A few minutes ago, all the guys came over here from Arkansas, and they were frustrated. You could see it on their face. Their hands were on their hip. Bobby Portis was the #1 guy who was just kind of getting out there, and you could see the frustrations. A few minutes ago, a couple of times slapping the ground on defense. So certainly keeping these guys fired up as well as on the scoreboard.
You see it in his eyes, the intensity in which he plays with. And this is an Arkansas team, as Shannon mentioned off the top, they felt like they gave one away here a year ago, and they want to get it back. To get it back, though, you have to be focused at this end of the floor. To win on the road, you have to defend the basketball.
Last year, they went to overtime. Georgia won by 5. Arkansas returned the favor in Fayetteville later in the season. Rebound comes off to Kingsley. Back to Kingsley. And now Portis has been the hot hand. This time he's cut off by Maton. Qualls can really get up in the air. Missed. Trying to twist that one in with the left hand. Frazier in traffic, leaves it from Maton, and he's fouled. And look out. Ty Madden, I think, is the guy that's going to be called for the foul. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Bobby Portis had 6 of the first 8 points, and he spent some time on the bench. His intensity is back, and so's his team.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual, proud official partner of the College Football Playoff National Championship game. And Staples, thousands of products added online every day, so you can make more happen.
There are no accidental champions. You can't hope your way to victory. And titles aren't won at the end of the season. They're won in the off-season. Northwestern Mutual Financial Advisors know that when you have a game plan and the discipline to work for it every day, you cannot lose. You will not lose. Start your financial planning with Northwestern Mutual and start your financial success. You and Northwestern Mutual. Stronger together.
People across America are taking advantage of Sprint's Cut Your Bill in Half event.
What's on your hand?
My AT&T bill. My Verizon bill.
What's the monthly rate?
$85.
About $160. What if Sprint could cut your rate plan in half?
I would love to cut that in half.
And give you unlimited talk and text in the U.S. and match your data.
That's incredible.
Bring in your Verizon or AT&T bill, turn in your old phone, and we'll cut your rate plan in half. Visit us online or visit a Sprint store today.
Staples has everything you need for an attention-grabbing presentation. Brochures, business cards, and banners, all at low prices. Still need to grab your client's attention? Staples has that stuff too.
How much?
Make on budget happen, make presentations happen. Staples, make more happen.
Stop by your neighborhood Ace and we'll help you get organized. 18-gallon totes, $3.99 after $1 instant savings.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
For fans of Liftoff. This is your game. Rockets Cavs at 7. Suns Wolves at 9:30. Tomorrow on ESPN.
I'm Adnan Burke. Coming up in the Mazda halftime report, potential shocker Rupp. #1 Kentucky having their hands full of Ole Miss. That came over on the SEC network right now. Also, the Buckeyes' first Big Ten road game as they're facing Minnesota. We'll get the thoughts of Jay and Seth, plus the Ohio State football team preparing for the national championship. Brad, back to you.
All right, Adman, thanks. Just under 2 minutes remaining here. Georgia is led by as many as 13. Sean, all the things we said, the Dogs didn't do well. Didn't shoot well from the floor. Didn't shoot well from three-point land. And that has gone by the board so far. They're shooting 58% from the floor, 63% from three. Oh, and by the way, free throw, 5 out of 6.
Yeah, you and I were sitting here. The number, Coach Fox will take that.
Yeah.
And you know what else he take? He take the three-point percentage. He take the free throw percentage. Everything has gone Georgia's way as far as field goal percentage goes. They're executing at the offensive end of the floor, and maybe even more importantly, they've done a good job limiting the turnovers and points off of turnovers for Arkansas. There's only a 1-point differential between the two right now.
Here's their freshman that was Gatorade Player of the Year in Michigan that everybody's kind of waiting to have a breakout game. He's got 3 points, 1 or 2 from the free throw line, and gets the lead back to 9 for the Dogs. Boy, Arkansas, they'd love to cut this thing to about 4 at the break. They'd be happy, I would think, and they've got an opportunity to cut it by 3 because Qualls hits the bucket and he's fouled.
Qualls has been quiet, just 1 of 5 so far in the game, but you elevate the defense up. Help side rotation is out of position. Able to finish through the contact and earn the trip to the free throw line.
Where he shoots 84%, so this should be a 3-point play. And it is. And that was big.
One of the few times we've seen a driving lane for Arkansas in the first half.
Here comes the full court pressure again. Frazier to inbound. He's got Mann there with him. And Mann's just waiting for a double team to hit him. Got it ahead to Jurisic, though. That's how they broke in the press earlier in the game, but now Georgia throws it away. Errant pass. Nobody home. Mike Anderson wired with 1:31 to go in the half.
We're okay. We're okay.
Hey, let's go.
Hey. Remember I told you, emotions are running sky high. Now we play basketball. Let's go. Give it to him. Give it to him. Go.
Looking for more motion. Got it from Michael Qualls.
Keep the movement, play defense.
And there's the 4-point deficit I said they'd be happy with at halftime.
And I think what he's alluding to is the emotion of your first conference game. You're on the road. You get the emotion out, then you get back to playing your brand of basketball. And I think Arkansas, the biggest key for them is they were able to weather that storm, that 10-2 run. The crowd was ignited. Now it's a 10-1 run for the Razorbacks.
Now they're playing on both ends. Kingsley swats that one out of bounds. That's his 14th block shot to lead Arkansas in that category.
Nice job rotating over in the defensive position. Blocked that one with 2. Almost caught it.
Now let's see if Georgia can settle in and regain some momentum because it's been taken away completely. They're up by 13. Jurisic will try a long 3 and got it.
That's one of those shots when he catches it, you're going, nope. Yep, that's a good one. We'll take it.
That was big.
Pushes that lead back up to 7.
And we got a foul.
Good job. Defensive rotation. You set the screen. He's a pick and pop, which means if you send 2 to the ball, he's going to be wide open. And a nice job rotating over and then knocking down.
Bobby Portis was fouled by Mayton, and it's a 1-and-1. Portis 67% free throw shooter. First trip to the line for him.
Got it. You know what? There's a football game coming up next Monday night. Don't know if you've heard. I think it could be pretty good. The Ducks of Oregon going for their first national title. Urban Meyer's Buckeyes of Ohio State trying to cap off a dream season. National championship presented by AT&T. Oregon and Ohio State, Monday night, 8:30 on ESPN.
Look, I love what Oregon has done all season long. Ohio State, though, in the 2 games with Cardell Jones at quarterback, 101 points against Wisconsin and Alabama.
Unbelievable coaching job by Urban Meyer and his staff.
Ezekiel Elliott has been huge, though, averaging 225 yards per game in those 2 games.
Couple weeks, 450 yards, 4 touchdowns. Now Georgia's going to go to the line.
You and Todd, great job, by the way, down at the Sugar Bowl.
Thank you. Great game. Durham picks up the foul.
Remember, he was talking about what's going to happen for SEC football fans. They can enjoy great basketball. And this conference is improved, folks. You're going to enjoy good games like this all season long.
Good point. If you enjoyed the football season, it's over. Welcome to Super Tuesday. Gaines at the line. Kenny Gaines, 7 points for him.
Double-double versus Mercer. He's had some big games, 25 against Chattanooga. Just the consistency hasn't been there. I think because Gaines hasn't been consistent at the offensive end and floor in particular, Coach Fox has continually told us over the last 2 days, we have not played our best basketball yet. And when you look at some of the wins that they have in their non-conference, knocking off Colorado, winning at Kansas State, beating Seton Hall here. And these are good quality wins, and yet they are not close to playing their best game of basketball as a group.
Kenny Gaines knocks down both free throws, back to a 7-point lead. Shot clock off, 26.7 remaining in the first half on the game clock. Arkansas would love to cut it to 4 again. Final 15. Madden has been scoreless in the first half. Missed a 3. They go right back up with it. That one comes out. And Georgia is going to maintain 7-point lead at the break. Georgia, great balance in their scoring department, led by Jurisic with 11. Gaines, Parker, Frazier, and Thornton follow. And Georgia trying to win their 8th straight at home, off to a great start on Super Tuesday. 44-37 as we check in with Shannon.
Coach, what will be your main point of emphasis for your guys in the second half?
Well, they made shots. Emotionals sky high. They made shots.
It's the SEC on ESPN, part of Super Tuesday, presented by Cree. And the Bulldogs of Georgia right now giving their team a reason to holla holla. They're up by 7 at home, trying to run their winning streak to 8 straight games. Brad Nessler, Sean Farnham. Tell you what, I don't know if Georgia can play much better than that, but if they continue to play like this, Arkansas is going to continue to have problems on the road.
Various aspects in which Georgia excelled at. They only had 1 turnover in the first half against the press. Now did lead to 2 points, but they took care of the ball for the most part.
Let's take a look how Georgia's planning for success, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. Here's what we're talking about, a little bit of everything.
Well, for Georgia, it's balance. It's a balanced approach. That's been their key to success. 8 different players have scored, 5 of them with over 5 points. You can't just key in on one particular player with this Georgia Bulldogs team. They don't have that standout. They don't have maybe that Bobby Portis that's going to control a game. So they've got to do it as a group.
I think they're taking a page out of the Atlanta Hawks book right now. They're shooting 58% from the floor, Georgia. 6 out of 9 from three-point land. 80% from the free throw line. They only had 6 turnovers in the first half. And they start things off with a 7-point lead to open up half number 2.
I think a lot of people want to take the page out of the Atlanta Hawks book right now. Nice win for them last night against the Clippers.
Yep. Best record in the East. And look out, Mike Anderson. Still going to be Georgia ball. Let's check in with Shannon.
Well, Sean, you mentioned that offensive balance for Georgia. Mark Fox told me yesterday that that's the identity of this team. He likes how organized they were on offense in that first half. He mentioned Bobby Portis. He said, man, he is playing well right now. Told me they can't double team him because then they'll leave other guys open. They just have to play closer to him to try to put that fire out.
That's a great point by Shannon and talking to coaches. You got to be there on the catch. And too often they gave him space to allow him to have confidence to step into a shot.
And last touch by Arkansas. So Georgia hanging by a thread on this possession. The ball went all the way to the backcourt. Now it's down to 6 on the shot clock. So they've got to think time and position here on the inbounds pass. Comes into Parker. Take the shot. In and out. Got a good look. And Arkansas lost it out of bounds. Williams lost his balance.
A little bit of a ragged start for both teams. You think about Arkansas, the pressure really disrupted Georgia on this possession and then unable to finish it off with the rebound. And for Georgia, they just didn't have any cohesiveness on that first attempt.
They've got a fresh shot clock to work with. See if they regroup here in the opening minute, the second half. Gaines pull-up jumper. Way off, but it comes free after Charles Mann.
The third opportunity to start the half for them to score.
That didn't hit the rim, so the shot clock continues, and then Juwan Parker with a fadeaway jumper.
If you're Arkansas, you give the home team 3 different looks in one possession, and they're gonna finally put one in.
Portis with Thornton on him. He's going to drive and take the left-hand shot. Pretty.
Now 32 of their points, of their 39 points, have come in the first 15 seconds of the shot clock, and that's Arkansas basketball. The problem is they haven't been able to get there consistently enough in speeding up this game.
Not enough scoring for anybody except Portis for the most part. Whistle and a foul is going to be on Ja'Cory Williams.
With Bobby Portis, you see you have your hands out in front of him. You give him a little bit of space. He's so long, so athletic, no help side defense rotation. I know you don't want to double him, but you also don't want to give him a lane to the rim and allow him to get a free open look with the left.
A lot of NBA scouts here tonight, and they're liking what they're seeing from number 10, I'm sure.
One of the standouts in the non-conference for the SEC overall, and Bobby Portis has played at an all-conference level from the start.
Nice pass inside. Jurisic missed a layup, but Georgia's going to get it back. Jurisic led Georgia in scoring in the first half with 11.
It's twice now Williams has had his hands on the ball and has not secured the rebound. Got to have vice grips. Pull it in, secure the rebound. That's how you get back in this game. Giving up second and third chance opportunities is not going to help you.
Especially giving Georgia a fresh shot clock to try to burn some time here a little bit. Gaines, cross-court pass, Jurisic, triple, got it. Nice ball movement by Georgia to get the open 3.
And poise and patience against the zone. Make it shift, make it rotate, make it collapse.
And now a push by Thornton.
Well, the ball movement, we're talking about the other end of the floor. Watch a little shot fake. You step in. You've got the diagonal skip pass across. It is a long run, and on the long run, you got a wide open 3. Your feet are set, and knock it down.
Jurisic with number 13 and number 14 on the year from three-point land. He had 32 last season. And Portis, the star so far, and maybe the only star so far for Arkansas with the free throw. He's perfect from the free throw line. 18 points.
You know, he has 4 20-point games so far this season, 2 double-doubles in the last 3 games. 3rd in points per game in the SEC, 4th in rebounds per game. He's only got 1 rebound now. And he needs to get on the glass and help out his team.
Got them both. 19 for Bobby. Lead cut to 8. Frazier almost was run out of bounds, and now he wants everyone to clear out as he'll work against Durham. Frazier all the way in the lane, spins it off the glass, couldn't get it to drop, and now foul underneath as Maton went back up with it.
That's twice Frazier has driven the lane and missed the layup and then given an opportunity for a teammate, because as the defense reacts to the dribble penetration, you usually force the back line of the defense to vacate their position. And in doing so, it's a great opportunity to get an offensive rebound, and Maton was there to get it and earn a trip to the free throw line.
6'8" freshman, 3 points in the first half. Was 1 for 2 from the free throw line and missed that one.
And this young man is going to be an all-conference player by the time that he's done here at Georgia. I've seen him. It has some great flashes early in his career. And the one thing I love about him is every day after practice, he is the last guy to leave the floor.
He was today again.
Commitment to want to get better.
Got 1 of 2, which is about what he does from the free throw line. And it's back to a 9-point advantage, 3 minutes into the second half. Madden, the kick out, Durham, the 3, and got it.
Very similar to Georgia's wide open 3.
And now the pressure doesn't get to Georgia this time. It does. Mark Fox is saying, "You sure you got that right, guys?" Frazier got caught in the corner down there. On the inbounds, quick shot. Now Georgia got a 2-on-1. Missed the shot, but they'll go to the free throw line.
And you got the right guy going to the free throw line in Parker. You shoot a quick 3. If it goes down, it's great in that situation. But if not, the whole entire Arkansas team was sucked in deep on the baseline because where it was inbounded. And the long rebound allowed that transition look for Georgia.
So Parker, the 6'4" sophomore out of Tulsa, at the free throw line. And as Sean said, that's the guy you want there. 84% free throw shooter. Well, maybe not. Well, almost. Well, for fans of Liftoff, this is your game. James Harden and the Rockets heading to Cleveland to take on the Cavs, followed by Andrew Wiggins of the Timberwolves hosting the Suns. Rockets, Cavs at 7, Suns, T-Wolves at 9:30. That's all coming up tomorrow night, presented by State Farm.
Cavs part of the trade last night and trade away a couple of guys and lose to the 76ers, looking to rebound. The process, it's going to take a while in Cleveland. Not what people necessarily expected.
No, that's for sure. 2nd and 2. You should have never talked up his free throw shooting. I could have hit those 2 a little bit better. Here's Qualls. Had it tipped in midair. Golden opportunity here after the missed free throws for Arkansas to close this gap. It's only 6 points right now. Nice finger roll inside by Kingsley.
And Thornton looked at his teammate and said, "Help me out." And he's in good position, but when he starts pivoting deep in the paint, you've got to have somebody at least close that door down. That's twice in the second half. They've allowed Arkansas to get to the middle of the floor with no help.
See if Georgia's got an answer now. Remember, they led by 13 in the first half. They led by 10 here in the second. The lead has been sliced to 4. And we're going to have a whistle before the move.
And a good job underneath. Watch this as he dribbles towards the middle of the floor. There's space, and nobody is helping over and able to finish.
A fresh shot clock at the 4-minute mark. Georgia's gone stagnant here offensively their last few trips. Mann's going to try a 3 and nailed it. Big 3 for Mann. That's only his 8th of the year. Couldn't have come at a better time for the Dogs. Qualls, great spin move. Got in traffic, then drew a foul, and now the big guys inside. Maton and Portis kind of having a little hand fight.
Well, every single time Arkansas has closed this gap, Georgia has had the answer. That time it's Charles Mann from the outside.
The Masters coming in April to ESPN.
Get yourself something nice. Love, Nana. Something nice.
The KFC $5 fill-up, the only pot pie made with the world's best chicken, and a cookie and a drink, all for just $5.
Isn't that nice?
What makes it an SUV is what you can get into it. What makes it an NX is what you can get out of it. Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
there's a place where you really live, where you can do what you love to do. Whatever you do, get there with Continental Tires. Gain miles and save money with EcoPlus technology. Continental Tire. For what you do.
Look at that. Bite. Do the jingle. Do the jingle. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hey, guys. I'm in my office.
State Farm agents help you get to a better state.
Honey, you can't be so careless.
Okay.
This is our orange money. This is what we're setting aside for our retirement. We have to be really careful with this.
Okay.
That's why we got organized with Voya, so we can make the most out of what we put away for retirement.
Those are your jeans.
It's important to know what money to put where, and Voya can help. Start getting organized today by learning how much orange money you'll need in retirement. Find out now at Voya.com.
Time for our Wendy's Wooden Watches. We take a look at some past winners. A guy named Larry Bird, pretty good at Indiana State. Two-time Wooden winner, as a matter of fact, 78-79. Kenyon Martin in Cincinnati in 2000. Blake Griffin, the high riser from the Oklahoma Sooners in 2009. And we've got a guy that's in the mix for the Wooden Award here tonight.
And he's played well tonight. 19 points, 7 of 10 shooting from 4. And spent some time at the LeBron James Skills Academy over the course of the summer. And his focus and his point of emphasis when he spoke at Media Day was about getting more physical, being stronger with the basketball. And I think we've seen how that has changed his game.
You said the rebounding, the big part tonight. He hasn't been involved on the glass, but everything else, he's kept them in the basketball game. Michael Qualls got the free throw. Shannon?
Well, Brad, Sean, Bobby Portis told me today that his mindset coming into this season is, quote, I want to get hit in this game. He is not shying away from it, something he admits he's done in past seasons. He says he's way better physically. Just a side note, he grew an inch over the summer. Just grew an inch. I asked him what he was eating. Might want to give that up to some guys out there, some people out there. He wouldn't tell me.
Tell you what, he's hit the weights too, as he's several pounds bigger and it's muscle. And you can't muscle him around. You could shove him around last year as a freshman. Not anymore. Knocked away from man by Kai Madden. Still Georgia ball. Don't forget Ohio State and Minnesota in the Big Ten. Coming up from Williams Arena when we're done here.
Important game for Minnesota. They dropped the first two in conference play. On the road at Maryland and then Purdue. Need to find a way to get a win at home.
Portis blocked shot. 5 on the shot clock. Man's got to think about it. Gonna have to hurry. They got it away. Gaines hit the side of the backboard. It's a shot clock violation. It never got to the rim.
And you look at the body language right now for Arkansas. They're talking about speeding it up. They're bouncing. They got a little life to them right now. This is the moment of the game. You're 5 minutes into the second half. You've shot the ball well so far here in the second half. 60% shooting from the floor so far for the Razorbacks. They need to get stops like that and then capitalize down at this end of the floor.
Right now they know that they can make it a one-possession game this trip.
And I get the ball down low. That's where they have had success. Get the ball down low in the paint.
They lob it to Portis. He made a tough catch against Mayton, and then he walked with it. So they got it where Sean wanted them to get it and where Mike Anderson wanted them to get it. But he shuffled his feet.
You got the ball in the hands in the right position with the right player. And you just see him change his pivot foot, dance around a little bit too much. But that's you want to get back to that one.
Right.
I'd come right back to it on the next possession.
Tell you what, if Georgia gets Frazier open, it's going up. Nice pass underneath. Thornton missed a jam, but he's fouled from behind. There's a reason he missed it.
That looked pretty good coming from behind there.
Now the officials are telling Arkansas, be careful. Michael Stevens telling Kingsley, the foul's on you, just quiet down. Don't need a technical on top of it.
Ooh, that looked pretty clean. That looked pretty clean.
And thus the reaction from Moses Kingsley, who's picked up his third foul.
Marcus Thornton's been a little bit quiet since the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game.
You see the rotation over. Kingsley comes from behind and meets him up top.
If anything, might have got him in the head with his elbow, but the block itself was pretty nice.
I can understand why Moses is a little upset.
Yeah. Marcus Thornton is not the greatest free throw shooter. Drains a couple when Georgia desperately needed some points. Stretched the lead back to 7. See if they get to Portis down low. He's got Mayton, the freshman, on him.
Kingsley with pretty good position.
Here he is working against the freshman. Great spin move. Didn't get the shot to go. Qualls, as he almost did, I should say, against Kentucky last year in Arkansas, almost threw that one back down. There's the shot we were looking for the last trip down. Frazier with a quick 3. Doesn't get it to go. Georgia has hit a season high 8 3-pointers so far tonight.
I think it's pretty tough to see from that angle exactly who it went off.
Yeah, maybe that last fingertip. I think that was a good call.
I think it was a good call.
Just a matter of who had the larger hands right there. Portis is going to get a breather before this next TV timeout. That will give him an extra couple of minutes of rest. That takes away their #1 scoring threat.
I think Harris is the guy that's got to get involved offensively right here.
Kingsley. That wasn't the shot.
No, and that's not the strength of his game. Know your strengths and weaknesses. Play to your strengths. That time Kingsley ignored his weakness and went for it.
Frazier had it stripped away. And a foul by Charles Mann. Will send Arkansas to the free throw line.
Value the basketball, have poise. You've got a nice lead right now. You throw it off the back on the inbounds, and J.J. Frazier a little too cute with it. And Arkansas able to earn a trip to the free throw line.
Might actually be a good foul by Charles Mann. At least they're going to have to earn it. That would have been an easy layup had he not fouled Beard.
And Beard, an important get for Arkansas as a freshman. He's 90th player last year in the top 100, #1 prospect in the state of Arkansas, keeping that talent close to home. An opportunity to go to the CP3 camp, the Deron Williams camp.
He's the MVP of the 7A championship game last year as his team won the Arkansas State title. He got 1 of 2, so in essence, Mann's foul was a pretty good one. It only cost Georgia a point on that turnover. Jurisic with a tip in.
And when you have a team that likes to block shots, they're going to go after it. And as we've seen throughout the course of this game, it vacates the weak side of the glass. You get there, give yourself a chance.
Jurisic has really played well. He took 1 bad shot, but he's going to force on both ends. And a good follow there by Watkins. Manny Watkins. He's got 4. Jurisic, will this be a good shot? Nope. But kept alive by Gaines.
Get ball reversal, get the ball back out top. You're going to cut and move with purpose if you're Georgia.
They approach the 12-minute mark. Jurisic. Whoops. Everybody's tangled up. It's going to be fouled by Watkins if they can get him untangled.
And Jurisic playing with some toughness. Watch as the shot goes up. As the ball goes up, nobody puts a body on him. You got space and able to attack the rim. Shot blocker releases, tries to go over, misses it, doesn't get it, clears out the backside and allows for the tip-in.
16 for Nemi in what is probably his best game of the season so far. To go to the deck to try to save his miscue on the dribble and turns it over.
And trying to do too much. in that instance. You know that they're pinching in from the wing. So have the composure to pick up your bounce, reverse pivot, pull it right back out to the wing. You're going to have a wide open player on the outside, get ball reversal, and then attack.
Georgia with 10 turnovers in the ball game now. Harris looked like a crazy shot and went in. His first basket of the second half, 8 for the game, and the lead is down to 4 again.
A season ago, 40% of the points for Arkansas came off the bench. Harris was a big part of that.
Georgia had to call a timeout. They couldn't get the inbounds. Or was there a foul before that? Apparently there was. And now Mike Anderson's got a beef.
Ooh, he's close. Coach Anderson is treading on that fine line of getting a little technical from the official. The emotion of the game. It's start of conference play in the SEC. Arkansas trying to come back here at Georgia.
Shelves across America are still filled with these old-fashioned bulbs that create more heat than light. Now, they may be good for some things, but they're terrible for your wallet. This Cree LED bulb is 84% more efficient than an incandescent, turning more of your money into light, not waste. Don't you love the smell of planned obsolescence in the morning?
The Cree LED bulb. Who cares what it holds if it can't hold your gaze? Who cares how tight it can turn if it can't turn heads? Who cares how capable it is if it's incapable of creating a reaction? Any SUV can move something, but can it move you? Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
For most people, earning cash back ends here at the purchase. But there's a new card in town. Introducing the Citi Double Cash Card. It lets you earn cash back when you buy and again as you pay. That's cash back twice. It's cash back with a side of cash back. The Citi Double Cash Card, the only card that lets you earn cash back twice on every purchase, with 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
Adnan Burke, Seth Greenberg, Jay Williams back in our college basketball studios, updating you on Ole Miss and Kentucky on the SEC Network. Martavis Newby here, Coach.
Ole Miss is in attack mode, whether it's taking the ball to the rack or shooting a 3 to beat Kentucky. You got to make 11 threes.
And that is Dakari Johnson, Andrew Harrison here, Jeff.
That's what Kentucky is so good at doing, blocking the sun. Dakari Johnson finishing in transition.
Wildcats up by 2, though. It is tight. Back to you, Brad.
Mike Anderson hot going to break. Sean, I think he's got a reason to be.
Well, we take a look at that last play, and here's where the contact's going to come. There's an official right here watching the play. And I'm telling you, there's not a lot there. There was a timeout called out of bounds, but the foul evidently beforehand, in which, to be honest, I didn't see the foul.
Yeah.
I think that one won against the Razorbacks.
And sometimes it just evens out a little bit. Poetic justice maybe with a missed free throw. And Parker, the second best free throw shooter on Georgia's team, has missed his last 3.
In tight games, and this one looks like it's going to come down the stretch. It could be very tight. Free throw shooting, very important. Could come back to haunt Georgia.
Kingsley trying to work baseline. Jurisic. Bell. Wow. Knocked down just inside the 3-point line. A big 2-pointer, and it's a 2-point game. Remember, Georgia led by 10 in this half, 13 in the first half, and the lead is basically gone.
How quiet has this building got?
I guess. And it's going to get a lot more quiet. Georgia turns it over. Arkansas a chance to tie or lead. Bell, who hit the last one, drops it off to Beard. For the lead. And the rebound comes off to Georgia.
And Georgia's got to regain its poise right now.
And they got to find somebody that can score the basketball right now. And that's maybe Thornton, maybe is the guy that should get a touch. There he is, but he draws a crowd.
Well, I think the one thing we talked about, which is a strength, is your balance in scoring. Right. You don't have that one guy, you know, you've got balance. The problem, though, is who do you go to in a moment like this?
Exactly.
Now, when you need a basket, the game is getting tight, who do you turn to? And I think you're right. It has to be Thornton down underneath. And he's a guy that needs an angle to score. So he's got to get deep post position and create space with his broad shoulders.
And he doesn't have a field goal in the second half. And Portis just came back in to guard him down low.
You know, if J.J. Frazier gets his hands on the ball, which he does right now, he can look to score.
Like that. Except he missed the three from way outside. Portis trying to bounce it off Thornton. And it's going to be Georgia ball.
And not a good look. J.J. Frazier's got to understand time and possession. And Portis touches the ball with his foot out of bounds.
I'm going to throw this one 3/4 length court to get it back to Frazier. As we approach midway points, second half. Brad Nessler, Sean Farnham, Cannon Spake, our ESPN crew. First Super Tuesday in the SEC. With 10:07 remaining. Saturday showcase presented by 5-Hour Energy. Going to be good matchup. Ohio State and Indiana at noon. And number 5 Louisville and number 18 North Carolina get together at 2. Saturday on ESPN, home court of college hoops.
Carolina lost a tough one last night to Notre Dame. They did have 21 offensive rebounds in that game. Just did not shoot the ball well at all from beyond the arc.
2 big wins in the last basically 3 days for Notre Dame. They had to go a couple of overtimes to beat Georgia Tech in a really good game, and then North Carolina last night. So Mike Bray's got his best start ever as the head coach of the Irish. Well, here's the guy we said had to score for Georgia. We were talking about inside, but he'll take it from 15 feet away for his 5th free throw in a row.
And he goes to the bench now. And we got Mann and Thornton both on the bench. And now you're probably going to look at Gaines or Juris.
And for Arkansas, you know they want to get it number 10's hands if they can. Portis has the freshman on him right now. There's a flyby and a three-pointer that goes. Nice patience by Athlon Bell. Frazier has it rejected underneath. It's the one thing he's got to remember on his drive to the basket. He's 5'10". That time up higher off the glass. Tried to adjust for it and still missed it.
I think he's going to come out of the game real quick right here.
Arkansas never led. Still haven't. Same spot on that three-pointer by Bell, but it didn't go.
I like the look. I like the aggressiveness.
Whistle on a drive in the lane is going to be on Bell.
So Bell's ability to create space, a little shot fake, fly by, nobody's around you. That's as easy and as wide open as you're going to get from beyond the arc.
His 30th three-pointer of the year.
70% of his shot attempts coming into this game were from beyond the arc. So he's a guy that gets his feet set underneath him, usually in ball reversal action, and he'll knock it down.
9th team foul against Arkansas, sending Georgia back to the free throw line. We've been talking about this game as it's gotten tighter. Free throw shooting is going to be a key. And for Georgia, they're about a 66% free throw shooting club. There's 2 by Kenny Gaines that they desperately needed. He's in double figures with 10. But the lead is still just 1 possession here for the Dogs on their home floor at the 9-minute mark. For the tie. And we are tied for the first time. First tie of the game at 61.
Coach Anderson talked about it with Shannon going to the breaks. He felt like they exhaled a little bit. They started to get back into their rhythm and their brand of basketball, and they've been able to dictate the overall tempo and flow of this game better here in the second half.
Gaines, the dish inside. Dayton gives it, trying to get it back to Thornton, and threw it away.
You know, Arkansas, they've got not only the ability to finish at the rim, but they can stretch you on the outside. High percentage uncontested looks. Georgia's got to pick up their intensity at this end of the floor.
Georgia led by 7 at the half. They spread it out to 10 in this half, and now the guy that just tied the game misses everything.
And Coach Anderson is saying, get the ball inside the arc right there. The perimeter shot has been good, but don't be afraid. When there was nobody on him again.
Right.
Take a dribble or two in, hit the mid-range jump shot, get back down to the other end of the floor.
Mike was telling us today that's what happened at Clemson. They got away from Portis, and that game got away from them. At Littlejohn, one of their 2 losses. The other one was at Iowa State. Man's in trouble, got it. And Mark Fox wants to talk it over.
And he needed that. He needed that timeout in a big-time way because they brought the double team. You hand the ball off and allow them to immediately collapse on you. Arkansas Razorbacks starting to turn up the heat. We're knotted up at 61.
At Chili's, fresh is now. And now we've got Fresh Mex Bowls. It's a big bowl of delicious paired with soup or salad. Now on our lunch combo menu starting at $6. Chili's, fresh is happening now.
Copy that. Johnson, attack that boom cannon. That's some good attacking, Johnson. Boom Beach. Come with a plan or leave in defeat.
It's a sensational Saturday for college hoops. First at noon, a battle between big-time backcourts as the Buckeyes battle the Hoosiers.
Barrel for the tie.
Then, top 20 squads square off as Montrezl Harrell and the Cardinals take on a Tar Heel team that can really light up the scoreboard. Ohio State, Indiana at noon, then Louisville, North Carolina at 2, Saturday on ESPN, the home court of college hoops.
Strength is something earned, not given. Dedication means pursuing your passion every day. Healing is something we do together. And together, we put veterans first. Search VA Careers to find out how.
We are here to fight in a war.
Everything you touch turns to blood.
Banshee premieres Friday at 10/9 Central, only on Cinemax.
You like bacon?
I like bacon.
You don't want the DQ $5 lunch with a bacon cheeseburger.
I like bacon.
All for just $5.
The DQ $5 lunch. Entree, fries, drink, plus a sundae. This is fan food.
I like Sundays.
Our Super Tuesday presented by Cree and our tie game for the first time tonight as we check in with Shannon.
Well, Brad, Sean, this year, Mike Anderson, he's taken a new approach with his players off the court. Every single weekday, he has his players come by his office and sign in. It's a chance for them to stop by, talk to the people in the office, and also open the lines of communication with Coach Anderson. Bobby Portis told me today that it's really helped with trust as well, because they talk about things other than just basketball. They talk about life events and what's going on in school with their family. And Sean, I know we were talking earlier today, a lot of that off-court trust can really translate into on-court stuff.
Yeah, it's like us going to dinner last night, Shannon. First time I'm working with you. I got to build trust with you over there and make sure that we're working as a family. But no, so important in the game of basketball. You got to have trust at both ends of the floor. Understand that if you pressure the ball, you get beat, somebody's going to come over and be in the help side rotation.
My wife makes me sign in like that every night when I'm out with the boys. Have to put a time in as well.
It's 7:30. You'll be signing the books late tonight, partner.
I will be.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by the Cree LED bulb, the biggest thing since the light bulb, and in part by the new Taco Bell app. Millions of combinations. What will you make?
A normal incandescent bulb uses about $7 worth of energy per year. This Cree LED bulb uses about $1. If you argue with math, you will lose.
The Cree LED bulb.
It's like you're getting away with something. New Crunchwrap Sliders. Crunchy Fritos. Craveable flavors just for $1.
Hi, I'm Rob Lowe, and I have DirecTV.
And I'm overly paranoid, Rob Lowe, and I have cable.
No other TV provider scores higher in customer satisfaction than DirecTV.
Cable's got me on hold, which gives me time to figure out what the heck the Petersons are building.
What are you up to?
Did you know that DirecTV ranked higher than cable for the 14th year in a row? Did you know they hide listening devices in our cheese? Don't be like this, me. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Who is this guy? And why is he not sweating? He must be a secret agent.
New Axe Dry Spray. Goes on dry and keeps you dry with no visible residue. The first ever dry spray antiperspirant from Axe.
Introducing the new Philips Norelco Shaver Series 9000 with Contour Detect technology that flexes in 8 directions for the perfect shave at any angle. Go to philips.com/new to save up to $40. Innovation and you. Philips Norelco.
Wired a couple of minutes ago in the timeout. Listen to this one.
Tell you what, guys, I guarantee you make 3 stops in a row right here, they'll break. 3 stops in a row, they'll break. This is your winning time now.
3 stops in a row and they'll break. Well, he's had 8 stops in the last 10 trips for Georgia, at least as far as field goals. Georgia's gone cold. Arkansas on a 12-4 run. We're tied at 61. It's Super Tuesday. 7:37 to go. Can't ask for more.
And a game that means so much at the start of conference play for both of these teams. Arkansas not just trying to win a good one on the road against a very good team in Georgia, but they're trying to send a message to themselves as far as who they are going to be, building their new identity for this team this year.
Good point. Portis baseline, got his man in the air. Who wants to rebound the most? Georgia. Kenny Gaines on the run. Frazier for 3. Tipped. Jurisic got it to himself somehow. He's not the tallest guy on the floor, but he did a nice job with a double jump there to pull it down and give Georgia a fresh possession.
14 offensive rebounds in this game for Georgia.
Pick and roll. Thornton looked like he got fouled on the follow-through. No call there. Back comes Arkansas with a chance to lead.
I'd rather see Thornton utilize a shot fake, put the ball down, try to get closer to the rim.
.15 on the shot clock. For the lead, and it goes. First lead of the game. Harris with the outside jumper.
And Arkansas has done such a nice job fighting its way back into this game. Harris, one of those guys that come off the bench consistently, can provide an offensive punch. You give him some space, he'll elevate up over the top again and dial it in just like that.
He's had a couple of those tonight from the same spot. So now Georgia playing from behind for the first time tonight with just over 6 minutes to go. His man fell down. And he's blocked from behind and goes down hard on the baseline.
And that was just excellent recognition, though, to get the ball back to man as his man fell to the floor. Dip of the shoulder, probably should have been a foul against Charles, but instead it's a non-call. Good execution offensively by Thornton to give him the ball right back to him, and then the foul on Harris.
Man going to the free throw line to try to tie this game back up. I mentioned only a 61% free throw shooter this year, 70% a year ago. Hit a couple in the first half tonight, and he had 2 clinching free throws in the win over Kansas State. So these are just as important right now.
What did Coach Fox tell us about free throws? There's a lot of things a coach can control during the course of the game.
That's not one thing, Sitz. That's on you guys.
That is not one of them.
They work on it constantly. It's one of those things that sometimes it's really good for this team, and sometimes it costs them ball games. That was a 50% trip to the line for Charles Mann. Arkansas by 1. 6 minutes remaining. Qualls with a collision. And a blocking foul on the Dogs.
Well, the bounce in the life for Arkansas has been there for a majority since about the 15-minute mark here in the second half. And Qualls saw a seam. And when he sees a seam, he wants to attack it as aggressively as he possibly can.
Here he is again against Mann. This time he loses the handle and turns it over. Frazier brings it down with Maton. Maton got the basket and the foul.
The Michigan Gatorade Player of the Year a season ago. In transition, gets the steal, gives it to the guard, and runs the floor. And don't worry about the shot blockers coming. Just get to the iron and put it up there as fast as you possibly can.
And Mike Anderson's going to call a timeout right here before Maton takes the free throw to try to pick up the three-point play. Georgia edges back in front, each team with 3 timeouts remaining with 5:52 to go. Good one here on our first conference game on Super Tuesday. And our journey to the tourney presented by Sonic will take us to Chapel Hill on Saturday as the number 18 Tar Heels of North Carolina welcome ACC newcomer number 5 Louisville to Tobacco Road. ACC basketball this Saturday at 2 on ESPN, the home court of college hoops.
Louisville has Clemson tomorrow night, and you saw that they've won the Big East 2 years ago. They won the American last year. Rick Pitino could be the first coach to win 3 consecutive conference championships in 3 different conferences.
That'd be impressive.
In 3 years.
Of course, their loss to Kentucky, which was a hard-fought game, but it ended up being an 8 at the end, something like that.
Well, now Georgia's regained the lead, and I think this is going to be the way it's going to go for the final 5 minutes plus. I think it's going to go back and forth. I haven't seen enough out of Georgia here in the second half to believe that they're going to go on one of those spurts and one of those runs.
And a guy that shoots 55% from the free throw line missed the chance for a 3-point play. So clinging to a 1-point lead on their home floor. Georgia Dogs have not lost at home. 7-0 this year at Stegman Coliseum. Looked like maybe they could run away and hide from number 23 Arkansas, but that is anything but the case now. Here's Harris, same fadeaway, same spot, and he drills it again.
Sometimes there's a particular spot on the floor where players just feel it.
I think he's hit
identified
right there, hasn't he? That same spot. And Georgia turns it over.
Well, Harris, that spark plug off the bench for Arkansas. His consistency over the last 2 seasons now, coming off the bench and knocking down shots. And you got to be there on the catch. You've got to have your hand in his face. Make him do something else. We've seen that he can do that. Georgia's got to go, okay, we know you do that really well. Let's force and see if you can do something else.
Exactly. Portis stolen, maybe. And Charles Mann goes into the good seats, and they're a man shy right now. Harris has got to whip one up there, and he buried a 3. Harris has been the key for the Razorbacks, and now they're up by 4. That's their biggest lead.
It was Portis, it was Portis, it was Portis, and now it's Harris. They needed somebody else to step up and help Bobby Portis out tonight in the scoring department.
Now who's it going to be for Georgia? If they got any chance to regain the lead, that's not the way they're going to do it. Gaines knocked it away. It's going to be Arkansas ball.
There's got to be a timeout for Coach Fox. They need it. His team a little shaken right now. At the defensive end of the floor, they need to dial it back in, get their mental focus and their mental age. Ball gets saved. The floor is spaced out. You can see Harris put his hands up. He floats, gets himself in the spot where he feels confident to knock it down, and he's got that look about him too. After he's making those shots, he knows every time it comes off his fingertips, it's going to fall.
He is in a groove without a doubt, and the 3-point shooting of Arkansas got them back in this thing.
And the Arkansas Razorbacks to just under 40% from beyond the arc coming into this game, and they've done an excellent job in the second half in particular, creating space and getting clean looks from beyond the arc.
Georgia, 8 costly turnovers in the second half that have led to Arkansas points. Big difference between these two teams as far as three-point shooting coming in. Arkansas had 100. Georgia had 60. And then Georgia has its best night from outside the arc, hitting 8 threes so far, but it might not be enough unless they can find a way to rally here in the last 4.5 to go. And now Qualls trying to get in the act, and he does.
That was absolutely beautiful execution in their half-court set. Watkins set a nice screen and allowed Qualls to come right over the top.
And that's a 6-point Razorback advantage. Man on the drive, the kick out. Baseline jumper goes just inside the three-point line for Parker.
And Frazier that time drove middle and then sat down in the chair and found his teammate who was wide open. A good drive and kick.
Now Georgia needs a stop. Portis squares up. One-hander on the baseline, blocked by Mayton. Frazier on the run. Up and in.
How does your team respond out of a timeout? The answer, at least for Georgia right there, really strong.
Big swing. First, Georgia did get the stop, courtesy of their 6'8", 240-pound freshman.
Keeps his hands active, goes up, allows the gap to create the turnover, the block shot, and then a little Euro step. Gets to the middle, keeps the defense off balance, and J.J. Frazier able to finish. 2-point game.
Arkansas still in the lead, but playing on the road has not been their strong suit. Under Mike Anderson, since 2011-12 season, 90% at Bud Walton, 10-0 this year. But it's a whole different story when they hit the road. 6-27 this year. They're 1-2, and that is a 72% winning differential. That's the highest in college basketball in the last 3 years.
He talked about his team to us earlier today and said, fine, I know what the records indicate. I know the differential. He knows, team knows it. He knows it. But this is a group that went through those lumps last year. And when you go through lumps, you hope that you're going to make it over the hurdle the following season.
Right.
Another team that was on that list, Utah. They're a team that in the Pac-12 this year has learned from their experiences from a year ago, trying to get better this season. And for Arkansas to finish as one of the top teams in this conference and make the NCAA tournament, they have to win games like this on the road.
Beard against Frazier. That guy, they don't want him to handle it. If you're Georgia, number 2 has had the hot hand, Harris. Portis double team, gets it out. Watkins on a runner, and he got it to go. Manny Watkins.
Remember what Coach Fox told Shannon at half? We don't want to have to bring the double team on Bobby Portis. They brought it there, and they got burned.
Now man trying to break the pressure, and he throws it away. Tried to get it to Jurisic and way too far in front of him. And the 9th costly turnover of this half suffered by Georgia.
Teams receiving the message during timeouts. We saw Coach Fox call a timeout. His team responded. Coach Anderson quickly calls another timeout. Now his team is responding.
They're both with him. They had about 2 more timeouts each. Beard thought about a 3. Portis turns and buries it.
He can just score the basketball. Doesn't need a lot of space.
Nope.
Utilize his length and athleticism.
21 for Bobby. Jurisic leaves it underneath. Wow, Georgia missed a layup. Fans were looking for a foul on Thornton and didn't get it. And for the second time, a 6-point lead for Arkansas.
He was anticipating the block shot rather than just going up and trying to make the shot. That time by Thornton.
Now, if you're a Georgia fan, time is of the essence because Arkansas, the team that likes to play fast right now wants to burn clock more than score. Yeah, they lost it, though. Portis lost the handle. Here's Frazier on the run ahead. The lay-in is good by Charles Mann. Down to 4 again. Timeout again. Taken by Arkansas. And they've got 1 left.
So for Georgia, they've got to be able to get a stop right now. Down by 4. It comes to forcing Arkansas out of their comfort zone. That time Portis loses it. Mann able to finish at the other end of the floor. But Portis at the other end of the floor, the possession before. Look at the defense was outstanding. The offense is just that much better when you're talking about a player like Bobby Portis.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember Portis' shot being that pure a year ago. You were talking about he's been at skills camp. I think it's paid off.
Well, when you're a player like Bobby Portis and you have the success that he had as a freshman, you want to take that next step forward. It's not just about your play on the court, but your leadership abilities, wanting the ball in these moments. That's what you hope you learned in that Clemson loss, where they broke down late. Sometimes it's not just on your teammates. Sometimes it's on you.
Right.
You've got to demand the basketball. You've got to put yourself in a position to say, you know what? We're finishing this one off on my shoulders. Let's get it out of here. Let's get back on the plane and head back to Fayetteville.
Number 3 scorer in the SEC and showing why with 21 tonight. And now it's a matter of holding on for the Razorbacks, who lead by 4. Qualls walked with it, I think, and he did. .1. Adnan Burks in the studio with an update.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. We got something brewing at Rupp right now. It's Ole Miss and Kentucky on the SEC Network. This is Trey Lyles here, but it is a tight one for John Calipari's team. They're up by 5. There's under 3 minutes to go once again on the SEC Network. And just a friendly reminder, right here on ESPN, just about 7.5 minutes away from Sam Thompson and the Buckeyes taking on Minnesota. Should be a good one. We're coming back right after this.
What if other chicken sandwiches could dream?
Asiago, over here, Asiago, we love you. Asiago, stop. Asiago!
Dream on, little chicken. Because there's only one Wendy's Asiago Ranch Chicken Club with rich Asiago, thick-cut bacon, and cool and creamy ranch. And now buy a Frosty key tag and get a Junior Frosty with every purchase.
There are no accidental champions. You can't hope your way to victory. And titles aren't won at the end of the season. They're won in the off-season. Northwestern Mutual Financial Advisors know that when you have a game plan and the discipline to work for it every day, you cannot lose. You will not lose. Start your financial planning with Northwestern Mutual and start your financial success. You and Northwestern Mutual. Stronger together.
So Ally Bank really has no hidden fees on savings accounts?
That's right.
It's just that I'm worried about, hidden things.
Okay, why's that?
No hidden fees from the bank where no branches equals great rates.
Kim, it's Dad. Someone murdered your mom.
What are you going to do?
Protect the only one I have left. I love you.
Dad?
Taken 3, rated PG-13.
ESPN postseason NFL Countdown has the divisional round covered.
What's in store for us this year?
What quarterbacks will step up?
They throw one of the best footballs in the business, so that's why they've had so much success.
And what teams are primed for a deep run?
I think right now they're doing enough things on offense and defense that they're going to be there at the end.
ESPN postseason NFL Countdown, Saturday at 10 a.m. on ESPN.
Didn't seem possible early in this game that Arkansas could have a 4-point lead with 51 seconds to go because they started extremely slow. First couple of timeouts, they had 10 points. Since then, 64. And look at the field goal shooting.
Well, they have been outstanding, in particular in the second half. 56% shooting from the floor. They forced 10 turnovers in the second 20 minutes. They've created 10 points off those opportunities.
Georgia wasted a 58% field goal shooting first half by shooting 47 in this half. Now they've got the ball, but they're down by 4. Jurisic is a long baseline jumper. Jurisic trying to tip it in. Didn't get either tip in. And now a run out by Qualls, and he's going to throw this one down.
That might be the exclamation point right there to this one.
Boy, Georgia had a double chance to cut it to 2. Frazier's going to let fly with a 3, and Portis with a rebound. He'll be fouled. And it looks like Arkansas is going to get out of Athens for their first conference win of the year.
The emotion, too, that you see out of Arkansas players. Multiple opportunities for Georgia to finish around the rim. Unable to do it. No doubt this man, he finishes around the rim just fine. Oh, he can throw it down.
Sure can.
You know, and the emotion that you see Watkins, and after that foul, he was fist pumping all the way almost back to the other end of the floor. And just for Arkansas to be able to come in here where Georgia's been perfect all season long. The question marks about the Razorbacks. Can you win on the road? Well, tonight the answer?
Yes.
It's yes. And this is why this team is a team that is poised to be in the running all season long in the SEC.
And a quick foul. Frazier fouls Qualls. It'll be a 1-on-1 on the other end.
And for Georgia, now you got to saddle it back up. You got to rebound from this one in a hurry. As the upcoming schedule at LSU on Saturday, at Vandy next week before Florida comes in here. You do not want to come into that Florida Gators game 0-3 in conference play.
Exactly. Remember, they went 12-6 last year. Surprised everybody. Finished in a tie with Kentucky for second in the conference. Their most SEC wins since the 89-90 season. But that was, let's face it, they beat some of the lower teams in the conference. And as Sean just said, the sledding gets tough on the road, especially right now.
And as we've mentioned throughout the course of this game, too, the depth of the conference improved. The Vandy team is really young, but Coach Stallings, they've got a very good freshman by the name of Riley LaChance. He can fill it up.
Frazier hits a 3, but it's probably not going to be enough with 11.1 seconds remaining. Arkansas looks like they're going to be 12-2 and 1-0 in conference play in the next 11 seconds. And here's what the Hogs have coming up.
Well, and you look at their schedule. They have Vandy at home, and we know how difficult it is to go to Bud Walton and try to find a victory. And then you go on the road to Tennessee. Tennessee is a team that has a depleted roster right now that is foul prone. Arkansas's pressure could cause a lot of problems for Tennessee. Ole Miss at home. We've seen how Ole Miss has performed tonight at Kentucky, Alabama. There's winnable games here at home. If you take care of business at home, they could start off conference 6-0.
They could run that immediate schedules table, if you will, if they play like they did in the second half here tonight.
They start 6-0 in conference play.
Oh boy.
And you're going to be climbing up the polls. People are going to start to take notice to the Razorbacks and the potential that they have to not just get in the NCAA tournament, but to win in the NCAA tournament this year.
Kentucky and Ole Miss are tied right now, we understand. Don't forget Ohio State and Minnesota immediately following us. Georgia would need a steal and a quick bucket and something disastrous to happen to Arkansas to be able to come back and win this game. Still Arkansas ball. Just a couple tenths of seconds went off the clock, about a half second. And he's having a little trouble. Got it into Portis. Go to the guy with the long arms. Portis threw it away. 3-pointer. And a put in by Thornton with 4.5 and a timeout. Don't ever give up.
Well, maybe we shouldn't talk about their upcoming schedule so soon.
We maybe should talk about their upcoming 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, they can't get the ball in bounds. Back-to-back opportunities to get the ball in bounds. Neither one was clean. You throw the ball on the sideline. Portis is falling out of bounds. He's just got to throw it back in. Could have been a foul right there. No call. And then the finish underneath. And you see Portis, he's balancing himself on the line. A quick kick out. Contact, though, initiated by Mann, so a good no call right there.
As said, barring a turnover by Georgia and some disastrous thing to happen to Arkansas, the game would be over. Well, both those things happened And there's still 4.5 to go. Here's what Georgia has coming up. A very good LSU team. And then Vanderbilt, both on the road.
Well, we're sitting here with 4.5 seconds left to go. And they just threw up Ole Miss and Kentucky on the Jumbotron here inside the arena.
Wow. What a way to start Super Tuesday.
I'm telling you, SEC is going to have tight battles all the way throughout this upcoming schedule. A lot more difficult when you take a look at those 2 road games and the difficult environment of having to go to Vanderbilt. The unique situation of how that floor is laid out.
Georgia's not going to have the luxury of trying to pick out whoever they want to foul on this inbounds play, I wouldn't imagine. They want to send somebody to the free throw line as quickly as possible. They're out of timeouts. That was Mark's last timeout. Arkansas has 1 remaining. The possession arrows with the Hogs. And all of a sudden the fans that didn't leave the building are standing. There's the foul on Qualls by Frazier immediately. And only a half second ticked off. Now, Qualls is an 84% free throw shooter. So they didn't have the choice of trying to pick somebody that's not a good free throw shooter. He's 4 out of 5 tonight. He's the guy that had the dunk that we thought ended the game about 16 seconds ago. That didn't happen yet.
And Georgia's got no timeouts remaining. So if there's a miss on the one-on-one, you got to get it and you got to go quick.
So the pressure is on the 6'6" junior from Shreveport, Louisiana. He missed his last one. He hit the previous 4. Buries it. And now the all-important one right here. Still a 1-possession game. Georgia has a prayer from three-point land if he misses this and they get the rebound. And he didn't miss. There is no rebound. Timeout taken by Arkansas. That's their final timeout. But with a 4-point lead, it looks like they're going to survive. First of all, a 13-point deficit in the first half, a 10-point deficit in the second half, and then a Georgia rush at the end to try to make it a ball game.
Arkansas, their depth, you know, we talk about Kentucky and the depth that they've had and they've shown. I think Arkansas, their length, their depth, their production off the bench, it wears you down over the course of a game.
Yeah. And Kentucky and Ole Miss, by the way, the conclusion of that game is going on right now on ESPN2. That was been a tight one. Last time we saw it was tied. At any rate, that game's going on ESPN2, and Ohio State and Minnesota's coming up in about 4 seconds. Kentucky, we understand, is down by 1.
It is so hard to go undefeated in college basketball. I mean, everybody talks about it, and like, you know, it's a given that it's going to happen. If Ole Miss able to win that game and finish it out at Rupp, wow. Ole Miss has struggled at times. They lost to Western Kentucky at home. They lost to the Charleston Southern in the opener on a tip-in.
Jurisic is going to throw this one the length of the court and then some. Coast to coast. Too much arm on that one, and nobody got a hand on it. So it goes back over to Arkansas. And Rashad Madden's going to check back in to be the trigger man. Ole Miss and Kentucky, we understand, going to overtime on ESPN2. So you got 5 more at least to watch there. What you've watched here was a good ball game. Georgia gave up a big lead, and Arkansas won it. Final score, Arkansas 79, Georgia 75. For Sean and Shannon, Brad Nessler saying so long from Athens. I hope it's as good up at the barn in Minneapolis. Here's Mike Tirico and Dan Dockich. Fellas.
And we welcome you to the barn here in Minneapolis. Mike Tirico, Dan Dockich, Super Tuesday presented by Cree. Just enjoyed Sean and Brad with a good game there in the SEC here. It is 9-7 Minnesota on top by 2. Good early start. 16.5 to go. Just set the table for you. Ohio State, as you see, number 22 in the top 25. Buckeyes 1-1 in the league.